Belinda, we're talking about feedback, and being able to give and receive good feedback is probably one of the most important skills that a great manager needs to develop. You speak about a specific approach. Can you tell us more about that?
Kim Scott wrote a fabulous book called Radical Candor. And I suppose the premise of the book is, unless you can give radically candid feedback within the context of a relationship of care, you will end up with all sorts of problems. Either you will find somebody being ruinously empathic, in which case they will not say what needs saying, or aggressively obnoxious, in which case the recipient of the feedback is likely to be thinking about their behavior and not about their message, or sickeningly insincere. And radical candor really is about the ability to say what needs to be said in a way that can be heard, because there is absolute clarity that it comes from a place of caring. So for me, feedback is given directly using plain language on the back of a relationship that has been built over time, where the care for the recipient of the feedback is a given, it's understood. It's very difficult for people to hear very direct, very straightforward feedback if they don't know that you care.
And how does the manager's ability to not only give but also receive feedback impact on the rest of the team?
The ability to invite and receive and respond well to feedback is probably up there with the most important of the leadership skills. If you can't receive feedback, you're shutting down your opportunities to learn, for a start. Secondly, whilst we may agree with the injunction that you criticize in private and you praise in public, managers don't necessarily have that privilege. You're going to be criticized publicly. And not only do you need to be able to take that, but actually it's a gift, because it gives you the opportunity to model how to receive feedback publicly. You are showing that you are as able to take it as you expect your team members to be. So when you receive feedback publicly, as uncomfortable as it might be, it is your opportunity to show other people how to receive it, how to ask questions, how to be gracious, how to indicate that they value the fact that you were willing to share the feedback, that they are going to think about it, that they will pick it up with you again and take the topic further. It adds to the psychological safety that we spoke about in the team before, where as a manager, you are openly saying to your team, just as you need to be able to take feedback, I do too, and here's how I do it. It creates a kind of public vulnerability for a manager, which, when handled well, increases the courage in the team.
You've written a really great article on this that we'll be providing a link to, called You Can't Dish What You Can't Take. And in that article, you give a couple of suggestions, one of them even being that managers should go and seek out feedback in a certain way.
In her book, Radical Candor, Kim Scott, she frames a beautiful question for a manager to ask her team members, individually or collectively. And it goes like this: What can I do or stop doing that would make me easier to work with? And it's such a great question because as managers, we're often unaware of the things that we do or don't do that shut down our team members. And when I say shut down, maybe it shuts down the creativity, maybe it shuts down the willingness to have frank conversations, maybe it causes people not to bring their whole selves to work because the way that my manager deals with me or the things that my manager doesn't do make it hardly worth the while. Asking that question can open up such great feedback and suggestions. The what can I do can open up just ways in which you can make so much a better contribution to your team members. What can I stop doing? Often those stop doing behaviors are things we didn't even realize were having a negative impact. And I think it was Ken Blanchard who said that feedback is the breakfast of champions. And I think he was right. How on earth do you improve if you're not getting regular feedback on how you're playing the game?
And it also helps you to continue that ongoing learning to become better at what you do.
Absolutely.
Getting that feedback.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much. That was really great. Look forward to hearing more from you.
You're most welcome.